Hello and welcome. I'm Stephen Lindwall. Today we continue with advanced tactics, going from good to truly great. Chapter 19 is called the Goldilocks Rule, how to stay motivated in life and in work. Think of the last time you tried something new. If it was too easy, you checked out. If it was too hard, you tapped out. But if it was just right, not too hot, not too cold, you entered that magical zone where time disappears and you feel unstoppable. That's the Goldilocks zone. And no, this didn't come from NASA. James Clear explains that humans love progress, but only when we can actually feel it. We need tasks that stretch us just beyond our current ability. When the task is just outside your comfort zone or at the edge of your current capabilities. This can also be the sweet spot for something called a flow state, that magical mental zone where you lose track of time, your brain stops wandering, your productivity spikes, and you actually forget to check your phone every 19 seconds. Flow happens when something is challenging enough to require your full attention, but not so difficult that it triggers frustration or checking Indeed for alternative careers that involve zero effort. The author says the greatest threat to long-term success isn't failure, it's boredom. Professionals stick to the plan, even when it's no longer exciting. And then amateurs quit when the novelty wears off. Think about it. Anybody can start a new habit. But can you keep doing it when it becomes too routine or after it stops being sexy? After the honeymoon phase ends and you're left with the same broccoli, the same gym routine, and no one applauds you for showing up, that's the difference. Champions fall in love with repetition, or at least they tolerate it better than the rest of us. When something really matters to you, your health, your family, career, identity, you're far more likely to push through the valleys of boredom or excuses. Because you're not just doing the habit, you're doing what the habit means. Going for a run isn't cardio. It's about valuing my health. Importance creates emotional gravity. It pulls you back when motivation drifts. But even the most meaningful habit can get stale if you never change the flavor. That's why you need a little sprinkle of variety, not chaos. Think of mini or atomic variations. Same workout routine, different TED Talk and playlist. Same morning walk, different route, or that extra block. You're not abandoning a habit, you're refreshing the experience of it. The habit stays stable. The details shift just enough to keep it interesting. So the formula becomes important enough to stay committed, varied enough to stay excited, easy enough to stay consistent. That's how habits survive long enough to make you unstoppable. So I've got 4 questions for you today. Can you think of a habit that became boring just because it was too easy? Can you think of a habit that became too frustrating because it was too hard? Number 3, what habit could you raise the challenge slightly to make it more rewarding? And then number 4, what helps you stay consistent when motivation dips? And how can you build systems to support that consistency? So in closing, consistency creates results. But the right size challenge keeps you coming back. Find the level that's just hard enough and motivation will take care of itself. When you play in the Goldilocks zone, growth becomes inevitable. Thank you.